So if you are anything like me, you've probably had your Steam account for quite some time now. And the majority of the time I've had this account, I've also been subscribed to Humble Bundle, which has given me an amazing amount of games. The problem is most of them I've never even played. So let's change that. So the quick synopsis of the game is that you're playing as Watcher. Watcher is one of 6 sisters that look after all of these other sisters. It is found out very quickly that all these sisters are actually clones of a girl called Iris, who everyone, or all the clones at least, refer to as the All-Mother. Iris is one of the only people in the world immune to this disease that basically ravaged humanity. At this point in the game, it's essentially post-apocalypse. The apocalypse has already happened, you can't do anything to stop it. You have kind of stabilized to a degree and now you're just trying to survive. Watcher, her function is to basically go through the memories of Iris, or the All-Mother, and she can basically retell that history to other sisters so that the history is never forgotten. That is her function. Other functions include Noah. She runs the library and she's kind of in charge of, actually holding the information that Watcher gets. You've also got Fixer, who is essentially just a glorified mechanic. She's there to help keep the compound that everyone lives in safe. You have Healer, which, self-explanatory. She is there to keep everyone healthy. You also have Bang Bang Fire, which I fucking hate as a name. It's so stupid, but she is basically more military-minded, and she looks after the kind of defense of the compound. And then finally you've got Principal, who is basically the Pope. She talks to the All-Mother and teaches everyone their sort of religious values and their cultural values, and is basically the manager of the big sisters. So let me talk about some of the things about this game I really loved. The gameplay loop itself, you can imagine kind of similar to the original Telltale games, in that you're essentially walking around, finding the next part of the narrative and making a choice with how you want the narrative to go ahead. Very early on there are a few puzzles where you have to skip forward in time to get to a location and then skip backwards in time to get past obstacles and things like that, and I thought that was going to be a bigger part of the game, but it actually didn't come into play too much. So super simple, really easy, I didn't have to think about it too much. And to keep the Telltale Games comparison going, I realised very early on that my choices didn't really matter. However, there is a huge twist halfway through, which, spoiler alert, is that you were never actually playing as Watcher this whole time. It's revealed early on that Watcher is actually able to do what's called a communion, which is she can share the memories of the All-Mother with other clones. And what you find out halfway through is you are actually playing as a shell, which is a clone that has not yet been given a function. It is revealed that Watcher was actually tricked into murdering All-Mother by Principal. And after this happens, Watcher is captured, interrogated and tortured by the other sisters, leading to her eyes being cut out. And it's at this point I want to make a quick detour to mention the voice acting was amazing. The voice acting did so good to elicit emotions over what is essentially slideshows, because the animations throughout are very, very limited.
Who did it, Watcher? Focus on the question, please, Watcher. No, I'm just gonna stand around. Why does she appear unfamiliar?
The shift is slight.
What did you say?
I said the shift is slight.
Ah.
She appears to be smiling.
Why?
Because the truth can hurt people. We don't want to hurt your mother, do we?
No.
This is our secret. You and me.
Our secret?
Anyway, so basically it is then revealed that this whole time you have actually been Shell 48, communing with Watcher and Watcher sharing her memories. Watcher has been so desperate to find out where she went wrong. She relived this series of events over 800 times. And her physical health has just got to the point where it's like, no, I can't do this anymore. Brother, this game is so fucking bleak. It's unreal. And that twist actually made me retroactively forgive the game for not letting me alter the narrative too much, because the whole point of it is that these series of events have already happened. I can't do anything about that. Watcher can't do anything about that. So once I knew that, it was way easier for me to go, oh, okay, right, that's why nothing I did mattered, you know? The other thing that I really like about this fact is if you look, you can actually see Shell 48 in the opening cutscene, which I didn't actually notice until I was editing this video, but you will see her stood over Watcher after she has murdered Allmother. And if you look, you actually notice that these little bits of foreshadowing and also just referencing is scattered throughout the entire game. I think for me, the saddest one is a character called Zhao. She's a very, very tragic figure, obviously bullied, obviously pushed to the side, and she kind of clings to Iris. She reveres her, she loves her, she really is obsessed with her, and Iris just treats her like shit. One of the first instances in which you're exposed to Zhao is as a picture, literally called Picture Zhao. Later on in the narrative, you find out that Zhao actually has a picture of her dad who passed away, and when Zhao herself is dying, she says, I can't be a picture like dad. Like, fuck me, Zhao, that's awful. I feel like at this point I've managed to ramble for like 7 minutes and not really talked about very much, so I'm just gonna finally pick out some little bits and kind of summarize. So I absolutely love the art direction of this game. There's some super fucking freaky shit going on at some points. There's some really, really cool kind of sci-fi horror elements at some points. The compound that all the sisters live on give me Citadel Ricks vibes, where like they are for all intents and purposes the exact same person, but there's kind of become this natural hierarchy that comes from it, and even though genetically they are pretty much identical, there's, you know, this kind of underlying inequality. There's so much you could do to read into kind of the themes of this game. There's also a kind of Hong Kong protest subplot as well. You know, themes of generational trauma. There's just, this game is so fucking dense, and hopefully I've convinced you to give it a go yourself at some point. Yeah, thanks for watching, boys. I hope you like listening to me talk about this game for a bit, and hopefully I will start doing this more often. Much love. Bye.